Not everyone is immediately on board with the idea of life insurance. In fact, some people are downright skeptical. They might think, I'm never going to die young, or insurance companies just find ways not to pay, or I'd rather invest that money. Today, I want to share the story of a client of mine who used to feel that way. We'll call him Andrew. Andrew was a life insurance skeptic until life gave him a lesson that changed his perspective entirely. When I first met Andrew, he was in his early 40s, married with 2 kids in middle school. He was also very candid. I don't really believe in life insurance, he told me. That caught me off guard. He explained that he felt life insurance companies sometimes don't pay out claims due to fine print, and that he'd rather focus on building up his savings and investments. He half-joked that he expected to live to 100 anyway. I respect honesty, and I never push if someone isn't comfortable. So I simply shared some factual info with him, like payout statistics, and suggested we keep the door open. Then something happened. About a year later, Andrew's father passed away. It was a tough time, made even more complicated by financial stress. Andrew's father hadn't had much in savings. But, and here's the twist, it turned out that he did have a small life insurance policy from years ago that no one in the family knew about until the very end. It wasn't huge, but it was enough to cover the funeral and some extra to help Andrew's mom with bills for a while. Andrew came to me after everything was settled and said, I have to admit that life insurance policy was a godsend. It made me realize I might have been looking at this wrong. He saw firsthand that the life insurance did exactly what it was supposed to. It paid out promptly, and it relieved a lot of financial pressure during a heartbreaking time. That experience opened Andrew's eyes. He told me, I used to think life insurance was a ripoff. Now I see it as an act of love. That's a powerful shift. We sat down and revisited his own situation. Now with fresh perspective, Andrew decided to get coverage to protect his wife and kids. We calculated that between the mortgage, future college costs, and maintaining the family's lifestyle, he'd want a policy that could cover at least $500,000. Given his age and health, we found a 20-year term policy that fit his budget comfortably. Interestingly, the cost was lower than he had assumed it would be, a misconception many have until they see quotes, as we discussed in Script 6. Here's the thing. Andrew went from avoiding the topic entirely to becoming almost an advocate. He even referred a couple of friends to me saying, tell them what you told me. They need to hear it. What changed? He saw a real-life example of life insurance in action. It wasn't about reading a brochure or listening to an agent, me. It was seeing his mom's tears of relief that the funeral was paid for, seeing that an insurance company actually cut a check quickly with no hassle, seeing that someone, his dad, had cared enough to plan ahead. It transformed the concept from a maybe unnecessary expense to a crucial part of taking care of your family. I want to address some common skeptic points, in case you or someone you know has them. Insurance companies don't pay out. Actually, they do. In 2020 alone, life insurance companies paid out over $90 billion to beneficiaries. The vast majority of legitimate claims are paid. Insurers are highly regulated to ensure they honor claims. The rare issues often come from, say, material misstatements on an application, e.g., someone lied about their health, or dying during a contestability period due to undisclosed problems. But if you're truthful and out of that brief initial period, you can count on the payout. I'm better off investing the money myself. Investing is great, and you should invest for retirement, etc. But investments can go up and down, and they take time to grow. Life insurance creates an instant estate. The moment you're covered, if, God forbid, you pass, your family gets that full amount. To compare, if you invest $50 a month in the stock market, after 1 year that might be around 600 plus growth. A $50 a month life insurance premium might give your family $100,000 tomorrow if needed. Big difference. They serve different purposes. Investing is for you if you live. Insurance is for your loved ones if you don't. I don't need it. I have savings. Unless you have enough saved to cover all your family's future needs, including big things like paying off the house, college, etc., life insurance is worth considering. Many people with substantial assets still carry life insurance because it preserves those assets for other uses or for inheritance, rather than forcing them to be spent in an emergency. Andrew, the skeptic turned believer, told me something memorable. I realized life insurance isn't for me at all. It's for the people I love. Once I saw it that way, it was a no-brainer. That's really the bottom line. It's an act of care, almost a selfless purchase, because you personally don't get the benefit. Your family does. We laughed about how he spent money on all sorts of things for himself that, in hindsight, weren't as important as this. Perspective is everything. Now, Andrew's story had a happy ending in that he didn't learn too late. He learned in time to protect his own family. Some skeptics, unfortunately, don't come around and leave their families at risk. I always encourage people, ask questions, voice your concerns. If you're skeptical, that's okay. Talk to a trusted advisor. I'm always here. Let's address those concerns with facts and find a solution that you do feel good about. There are so many types of policies. Maybe a basic term policy is all you need to feel secure without feeling overinsured or overpaying. In the end, seeing a skeptic become a believer reminds me why I do this. It's really about education and sharing real stories. If you or someone you know is on the fence, consider Andrew's journey. Don't wait for life to prove the value of insurance in a harsh way. Take it from those who've seen it work. It's one of the best financial decisions you can make for your family. If you've ever thought life insurance isn't for you or had doubts about its value, I encourage you to take a second look, the way Andrew did. Feel free to reach out with any questions or concerns. I'm here to give you straight answers, no pressure. You can also read stories and FAQs on crockerfinancial.online, link in description, that address common myths. Don't let misconceptions keep you from securing your family's future. I'm proud that Andrew changed his mind. Maybe you will too, once you have the full picture.